Today's Sunday, January 8th, 2017, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to tape your plugs or tunnels, whichever you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and take mine out. Mine are at a 0 gauge, and I'm trying to reach my goal size of 00 gauge, which is probably going to be in a couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. I just got home from the hardware store where I purchased my very own roll of Teflon tape, and I've been using Teflon tape to stretch up for the last couple sizes so that the taper will go through. But as you can see, I've got Teflon tape on here already, so that yeah, so I'm just going to be adding to the layers. I usually put a couple layers on each time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use this handy vitamin E oil. And what I like to do is I like to put the taper onto the plug. That way when I go to wrap the Teflon tape around it, it's not going to get inside the threading, because if it gets inside the threading, then it's not good, because I have these are internally threaded, which is what is better for a piercing, any piercing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some vitamin E oil on this, and I will go ahead and take my taper. I honestly don't know why I just put oil on it. I usually put the tape on the plug before I do that, but I'm weird. So I'll just go ahead and roll a couple layers on here. There's one layer. And here comes a second layer. And it doesn't have to be pretty. That's the beauty of Teflon tape, because it doesn't stick to anything except itself. And that's what you want to use. So this is good for this kind of purpose, or bondage tape. I usually don't use bondage tape because that is thicker, and this is more readily available in my area. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim, not really trim, I don't really need to trim this, but what I want to do is push it down past the part where the taper meets the plug. So that way when I remove the taper and I put the backing on, it won't get in the way. So at the same time, I'm kind of pushing the tape down, kind of flattening it out, and once I put the vitamin E oil on the tape, it'll flatten it out some more. And the idea is to allow that to happen so that when you insert it, it'll go in more easily, and once it dries, it'll kind of expand, gently stretching your ear. You don't want to cause any pain while you're stretching. If you experience pain while you're stretching, you're not ready to go up just yet. But it is fine if you're feeling some kind of like pressure or pinching, slight pinching. That is normal. So I'm going to put some more on my ear, just to kind of ease the process. And these tapers with the tunnels, they came from Bondage, and they're really handy because they make the process so much smoother. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up to my ear and just gently insert. And it is. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the taper, and I'm going to set it aside. My hands are kind of slippery because of the oil. So I need to make sure that the whole entire plug is poking through the back of my ear, because if it's not, and I go to tighten the back on to it, it's not going to line up just right, and it could cause problems. So we don't want any of that. We just want a nice smooth process. you have any questions, by the way, feel free to post them in the comments below. I read everything, and I will do my best to answer to the best of my ability. And if you want to share your stretching experience, I would love to hear about it. Whether you're still in your journey or whether you've already reached your goal size, I would love to hear about that. And if you know anybody who might benefit from watching a video like this, feel free to share this with them. I would love to, help as much as I can. That's what I'm here for. So I'm going to go ahead and just not use the vitamin E just yet. I was getting a little ahead of myself before. So I'm going to go ahead and do like I did before. I'm just going to wrap this around a couple times. And, oops, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself again. I need to put the taper on so that the tape doesn't get inside the tunnel. ADD moment. Alright, here we go. So you want to line it up to the end of your plug, but you don't want to go over the edge there because you don't want it to show. So you're just going to go ahead and wrap it again a couple times. I've been doing like a couple layers each day. So eventually I'm going to be ready to put my next size in. But I don't think that'll be for a couple weeks at least. And I don't want to rush it because I have rushed it before and it's not fun. Exciting as it is, it's not fun. So once again, we just kind of push this down and we push down past the area where it meets, taper meets the tunnel. And at the same time, we're pushing down against the tunnel. Alright, now for some more vitamin E oil. I'm going to use the other end of the Q-tip. Just going to go ahead and kind of lube it up so that it's nice and ready to do its job. I'll do the same with my ear. When you reach bigger sizes like 2 gauge, 0, and higher, you'll want to use this taping method because if you just use the tapers, it's not going to be nearly as much fun. And there comes a size too where they don't make tapers anymore. And I think the biggest taper that I have seen is a 00 gauge. So we're just going to go ahead and insert this and remove the taper. See this, there's no pain at all. There's absolutely 0 pain. And that tells me that I'm doing this right. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove our taper. Make sure that the tunnel is all the way through before I go putting the back on. And I'm going to set this down. Take the back of our tunnel. Make sure my hair is out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten this on. Alrighty, I believe I am at the 6th layer point now, I believe. So yeah, got a little ways to go, so I'm getting closer and closer every day. So excited. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, like I say, go ahead and post them below. I'll do my best to answer to the best of my ability. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. And if you like this video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, go ahead and subscribe. I have all kinds of videos, not just piercings or tattoos. I have pretty much all kinds. Go ahead and feel free to go through my playlist if you like, and If you like what you see, please subscribe. I'd love to have you with me. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.